Consumer Watch. Does your car have dangerous seatbelts? Some safety experts say yes, and they're warning parents not to buckle up their children or other passengers in the back middle seat. Our consumer correspondent Susan Copen has details. Good morning, Susan.
Hi, Harry. Think about the seatbelts in your car. Most of them go over your shoulder and across your lap. But in millions of cars in this country, the middle back seat only has a lap belt. And safety experts say that belt is not enough to protect you in a crash.
Heather Schouten was a typical active 4-year-old. She loved to ride her bike and swim in the pool. But 9 years ago, her life changed in an instant.
What I've been told is that I would be paralyzed for the rest of my life, and there's nothing that we can do about it.
It happened on the way to school. Heather was buckled up in a lap belt in the middle rear seat of the family's Ford wagon.
Everyone always said, you know, put your kid in a seatbelt. Lap belt was fine. That's what we used. We thought we were doing right.
But everything went wrong that morning. The Schoutens collided with an SUV. Heather, wearing only the belt across her lap, was thrown forward, slamming her head on the center console and breaking her back.
My husband and I did not receive injuries that were devastating at all whatsoever, you know, and yet my daughter did, and she had the lap belt on.
Right now, 3-point shoulder belts are required in every seat in the car except that middle seat. It only has to have a lap belt, and that's dangerous, say safety experts. For decades, they have been pushing automakers and the government to ban lap seat belts because they can seriously injure passengers in an accident. Doctors at Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh have studied the effects of children wearing lap belts during a crash.
The most significant injuries, or the most potentially devastating injuries, I think, are the spinal cord injuries, because if you have an 8-year-old who's paralyzed from the waist down, and that's a lifelong thing.
Pediatric trauma surgeon Dr. Barbara Gaines says 3-point belts, which cross the shoulder and the lap, are designed to hold the child upright. But as this crash test video shows, a lap seat belt allows a child to jackknife over the belt.
The worst that we've seen is a child who almost looks like he was cut in half from his upper abdomen.
While parents may not realize the danger of lap belts, safety experts say it's no secret to automakers. This Ford Motor Company video from the 1970s shows a crash test dummy in a lap belt actually being severed in half. So why haven't all car makers banned lap belts? Auto safety watchdog Clarence Ditlow says many have put profits over safety.
For 40 years, the car companies have been saying it's too expensive to put better seat belts in, 3-point seat belts, over lap belts. It's outrageous.
But things are about to change.
After years of debating the issue, the federal government recently passed a law that would make cars safer by eliminating that lap belt in the middle seat. The law requires a 3-point belt in every back seat of all new cars by 2007. How much will the change cost automakers? The government says it's about $15 per car.
Sheila Schouten says the change is long overdue.
To be able to do something they already know how to do at a very minimal cost, to be able to save kids from being paralyzed, some, you know, killed, I can't understand why they won't do it without having to be forced to do it by the government.
Since her accident, Heather Schouten has adjusted to her new life. Her family eventually sued Ford and settled out of court. But they say no amount of money can heal the damage that was done.
It doesn't take away the pain because it can't change how she is and how she's going to have to live her life.
Do you have any bitterness about what happened at all?
Not bitterness. I mean, I think that they should do something about the seatbelts. I think they should change them, and it's like they don't really care.
A spokesperson for the Ford Motor Company issued a statement that says our heartfelt concern goes out to the Schouten family. Lap belts alone historically have a proven safety benefit based on real-life performance. As with any safety technology, restraint systems have evolved with time. And you can expect to see lap belts phased out over the next few years, and many car makers are already making the switch. And safety experts do want to point out that any seatbelt is better than no seatbelt.
If you're looking at your car right now and you know you're not going to get a new one until, 2007, is
Right.
there any way to retrofit that middle seat with a three-prong belt?
To add the belt,
Yeah.
safety experts say there's no safe way to do that. There are kits that are out there, but they do not recommend that you do that. So if you are in the market, say you are looking for a new car, look in that back seat. If this is a concern, if you know people are going to be sitting in that seat, look to see what's back there. If you don't want the lap belt, don't get the car.
There you go. Thanks very much. If you would like to tell us about a consumer story, just email us at consumerwatch@cbsnews.com.